Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. In today's video, we are reviewing the Persol 3304 sunglasses. But first off, we gotta thank today's video sponsor, our own website, shadereviewstore.com, the absolute best place to buy designer sunglasses, up to 80% off the original MSRP. Again, our website there is shadereviewstore.com. Check it out. So let's go ahead and pop these sunglasses on face and talk about the dimensions. These have 53mm lenses and a 22mm bridge, and this is the larger size of the frames. They are also produced in a smaller size, which has 50mm lens. Personally, I actually like the oversized style with how these have a somewhat irregular round lens shape to them. I think that the larger size actually kind of fits my face better and gives it less of like a more narrow style, if that makes sense. Now, as far as the exact colorway that I have on today's video, these have their Madra Terra beautiful acetate frames, and then the lenses are an all glass crystal blue gradient polarized lens. These lenses are also found on the Steve McQueen edition as well. These are just a beautiful, beautiful lens. However, I don't typically really love a blue lens outlook. It is kind of like low contrast, and with the polarized lens as well, there's just not a ton of contrast with these lenses, but I really, really do love the actual style of them, if that makes sense. When I first put these frames on the face, I could tell they really do have a lot of Italian character to them. There's not a lot of frames that you can look at and just say that that's an Italian style, but this pair definitely does scream Italian style with the way that the lenses are. It's really hard to explain exactly, but I think a lot of people who are, eyewear enthusiasts are gonna understand what I'm saying when I say that. Now here in the top right corner of the lens, we can see an etched Persol logo there for authentication purposes. Then if we take a look here at the outside corners, we can see the Supreme arrow there as well. Now moving down the temples, we can see the two barrels for Persol's Meplecto stem system. So they're not just there for show or for looks, they're actually connected to the acetate frame, and it's going to give the frames like a bend point here. So here we can see they're gonna bend out at those little metal barrels on the Meplecto stem system. They're going to basically give a custom fit to the face right out of the box for basically anybody who puts these frames on. So here we can see they fit really, really nice with the way that they bend out. Of course, they are also made out of acetate and have a metal stem that runs through them, so you can actually still heat up these frames and bend them to your liking to give them a custom fit as well. So you have that and then the Meplecto, so they're just a very, very comfortable pair of frames, where a lot of times with an acetate frame right out of the box, it's not going to be really comfortable because you have to have an optician heat them up and adjust them. Now, as far as the hinges go, these have extremely beefy and very nice and premium 5-barrel all-metal hinges, and they feel really, really good right out of the box, just very, very nice and substantial. Now, if we take a look here at the inner right temple frame, we can see they say Persol, handmade in Italy, polarized. Then here in the outside right iris of the frame, we can see a metallic Persol logo. Now here on the inside left temple of the frame, we can see the exact core code and model information. Now, as far as the build quality goes, these are built really nicely. All the polishing is really, really nice here. The only thing that I do have to say that I don't love here is around the hinge. We can see it's just a little sloppy. You can see some of that raw acetate that wasn't perfectly polished down. And some of that's gonna be due to the fact that they are handmade. Every pair is gonna have a little bit different quality control depending on who actually handmade the frames. Now, having around the hinges not be perfectly polished is definitely not a deal breaker for me, but these frames are definitely expensive at around $300, so you'd expect it to be just a little bit nicer than that. But to some extent, it also kind of preserves the raw acetate feel and the handcraftedness of the pair of sunglasses as well. So, I kind of get both ends, but either way, I would just like it to be a little bit better polished, in my opinion, on the particular pair of frames that I have. When you have handmade eyewear like this, there's just going to be a little bit of variance basically no matter what you do. As far as the weight goes, these are going to be a pretty heavy pair of sunglasses. These are going to come in at 46 grams, and a lot of the weight here is going to be near the all glass lenses, so these are really not well balanced. Here we can see they are very top heavy, and because of that, if you wear them for a long period of time, you're definitely going to feel some discomfort here around the nose and then here around the ears as well, but mostly here on the nose just because of the way that they are balanced. Now, of course, getting a perfect fit of these frames to your face with an optician is going to allow them to hug the ear and then be a little bit tighter there to take some of the pressure off of your nose. But overall, I can still wear these for a couple hours without too much discomfort, but if I'm wearing these all day long or for like a road trip or something like that, they're definitely going to get a little bit uncomfortable on my nose, that is for sure. Now, as far as coverage from sun goes, because they have these kind of irregular round lenses, they're of course not going to offer the best coverage from sun. So here up top, we can see a pretty massive gap to let sunlight in unprotected. And here on the back side of the lens, we can see a massive gap that does let sunlight in unprotected, but they do have a very nice and premium anti-reflective material, which is going to help reduce sunlight coming in, bouncing off the lens at an angle, causing eye discomfort. discomfort and eye strain, so that's really nice to have there. And overall, the quality of these lenses is very, very good. The glass lenses also do a great job at keeping scratches away from the frames, and it really does help brands like Persol and Ray-Ban that have all glass lenses make their frames last a really, really long time, or make the usability of that particular pair of sunglasses last a really long time, because they're just not going to scratch up like a polymer lens is going to. So that's really, really nice. But of course, the downside is, of course, the weight. Now, as far as pricing goes, these are going to run you around $300 MSRP, but we do have these available on our website, shadereviewstore.com, for a substantial discount off the original MSRP. So make sure to check these out on our website, shadereviewstore.com, for current pricing and availability. But that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below, and of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be notified every single time I upload a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.